Good morning and welcome to Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Today we're going to go through our live rates for a few different programs, and then we're going to talk about foreign national borrowers for our deep dive topic here today. Appreciate everybody tuning in nice and early. We got the chat there up on the screen. Feel free to drop a comment there. We'll wait just a minute here to go live on all the different platforms. We do stream this live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and more. All right, it looks like we're live on all the platforms, so we'll go ahead and get it started. We will take the chat off the screen for now, but go ahead and keep dropping comments there in the chat. You can also drop any questions you have in the chat as we go through the presentation here today. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. All right. So, welcome everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I am the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, joined here by our president, Nick Hershey, and our sales manager, Jose Gonzalez. We're a lender that specializes in non-QM loans. And what we do every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern on this show is go through our actual live mortgage rates for a few different programs. And then we do a deep dive into a different loan topic. And today's topic is going to be foreign national loans. So, Jose, our sales manager here with 28 years of experience as both a realtor and a loan officer in South Florida, is definitely familiar with a lot of these foreign national programs. So he will take us into a deep dive into that shortly. But before we do that, we'll do what we do every morning, which is pull up our live rates. So Nick, if you're ready, let's go ahead and pull up today's rates and see what they are looking like.
All right. So before I share the screen here, we will set up a basic scenario and compare across all the loan programs. The rates are dropping today. Hopefully they continue to drop throughout the day here, but we will check out this morning's rates. It is July 11th, just after 11 a.m. So all the first rate sheets are live here for our standard programs. If you'd like a full breakdown of all of the itemized fees that go into the APR, a full loan estimate, please get with one of our loan officers. We have over 300 loan officers that would be happy to help you out. For today's demo, we'll use a standard single-family home, $500,000 purchase price, $400,000 loan. That's an 80% loan to value, 20% down payment. We'll use a 760 estimated credit score and an estimated 40% debt to income ratio. So those will be our settings. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So rates are already dropping today across the board. First up is our 30-year fixed conventional for a primary home. Rates today start at 6.375, final APR 6.710. Definitely getting better and hopefully continue to drop today. If for any reason our customer doesn't qualify for a standard conventional option, typically the next option to present is an FHA option. FHA allows more leniency on credit issues as well as a higher debt to income ratio, but it does require upfront and yearly mortgage insurance. Rates for FHA come in at 5.625, final APR 6.606. So our customer that qualifies for both may want to consider the FHA if they want to consider the mortgage insurance. And our customers that need to use FHA, definitely a great option as it is very comparable here. Now moving on to our VA options. VA is only for our eligible active service members and veterans. If you are eligible, these programs are amazing. This should keep dropping as well. Rates today starting at 5.75, final APR 6.055. So notice if our customer qualifies for VA, it's definitely typically a better option than FHA or conventional because it has a better APR here. So great benefit for our veterans and service members. Now moving down to our last standard agency government option is a USDA option. USDA programs only work in USDA eligible areas, which is typically the rural areas of the country. If our customer qualifies and the property is in one of those areas, it's a great option. Rates as low as 5.75 and a final APR is 6.5, including all the fees. So if our customers typically shopping in these areas, they'll be comparing to an FHA, which USDA is a little bit better, and comparing to a conventional USDA is a little bit better here as well. So great option for the customers looking in those areas. That finishes up our standard agency government options that any other bank or lender will have. If our customer doesn't qualify, many other banks or lenders have to deny them. That's where we can start presenting our 5,000 other options, starting here with our 30-year fixed non-QM alt doc option for a primary home. So if our borrower, for any reason, doesn't qualify using standard docs for a conventional option, and they need to use alternative docs such as bank statements, 1099s, asset-related, P&Ls, all kinds of different variations here. Today's lowest option here, 6.875 rate, most likely a bank statement option. Final APR, 7.190. So notice we're within half a point of conventional here to use alternative docs. So a great option for our borrowers that need it. And moving on to our investment options, tons of flexibility with our investment properties. First up, our 30-year fixed non-QM alt doc option for an investment property. So this is obviously a bank statement or similar. Rates come in at 7.25, final APR of 7.589. Now we'll compare that to our other investment property options. Remember, there are no government programs for investment properties, so no VA, USDA, or FHA. So first up here is our agency option, which is our 30-year fixed conventional for an investment. Rates come in at 7.25, final APR 7.611. And if we compare that to our alt doc, it is very similar, but definitely recommend our customers, our investors to check out our favorite programs, our DSCR. Coming in smoking today. DSCR stands for debt service coverage ratio. If the estimated rents from the appraisal can exceed the expenses, aka the property cash flow, that's a ratio of 1 or higher, which is preferred. For all the demos here, we use an estimated ratio of 1.5 so we can see all the programs. First up here is our DSCR option for a 3-year prepayment penalty. Rates come in today, 6.875, final APR 7.188, which is definitely better than our conventional option and our alt doc options. And we can get even better with our 5-year prepay option. A couple programs allow these 5-year prepayment penalties. Rates are amazing today, starting at 6.5, final APR 6.828. Absolutely smoking conventional and our other non-QM options. So amazing programs. No income or employment needed, just the rents. And the final option for DSCR is our no prepayment penalty option. Some states do not allow it, and some investors don't want it. No problem. Rates come in today, 7.375, final APR 7.729. So just a touch higher than conventional, go with no prepay. So say 100% of investors, when comparing side by side, will still take a DSCR option. But I always recommend our investors to check out the prepayment penalty options, which are absolutely smoking today. And the final options here, very popular request these days, 30-year fixed second mortgage. Many primary homeowners here need to get cash out of a property, but have a very low rate first mortgage and don't want to get out of that. No problem. We have our 30-year fixed second mortgage option for a primary home using non-QM, so it could even be bank statements or similar. Rates as low as 8.125, final APR 8.278. And this typically beats our HELOC options as well with our 30-year fixed second mortgages, so very popular request. And same program for investors. For investment properties, many investors still have a low rate first mortgage, but need cash out. No problem. 30-year fixed second mortgage to get cash out of an investment property. Comes in today, 9.875. Final APR, 10.154. And again, HELOCs are very rare for investment properties in general, so these are great options for our investors. Now let me go ahead and pull up our topic for today, which Jose will be presenting our foreign national options. So we have some great options there on the screen. You always see us present our non-QM options. We do have some of those programs that work for different borrowers. We have episodes on I-10 borrowers, which is not a foreign national, which I'm sure Jose will talk about. And we obviously have all of our options available for our standard U.S. citizens and status holders. So Jose will talk about the options that do work for foreign nationals. We don't get to do that on the live pricer, but the pricing is still amazing, especially today, I'm sure. So Jose, let's check out what we have today.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Daily Mortgage Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Yeah, let me give a little context on our borrower categories so that everyone understands clearly what we mean by a foreign national borrower. We have our national borrowers, which would be our U.S. citizens and our U.S. permanent residents. We also have non-permanent residents that also may fall into the U.S. national borrowers, as long as that non-permanent resident alien is authorized to work legally in the U.S. and has U.S.-based credit and has the necessary U.S.-based income. Then that non-permanent resident alien could also qualify as a U.S.-based national borrower, take advantage of all the regular loans, right? Conventional, FHA, and all that good stuff. Now, then the next one below that would be our I-10 borrowers. Those are borrowers that reside full-time in the U.S., work full-time in the U.S., and have U.S.-based credit, however, do not have permanent residency status in the U.S. So those borrowers we can still offer financing to, but they are not foreign nationals just because they don't have permanent residency status in the U.S., because they're working in the U.S. and have U.S.-based credit, which are requirements for, and living full-time in the U.S., which are requirements to finance the I-10 borrower. Now, our foreign national borrower is a borrower that does not reside permanently in the U.S., is not a U.S. citizen, is a citizen of another country, is not deriving the income to qualify for the loan if they're going to qualify with income, because we do have DSCR, of course, but that income would have to be derived outside of the U.S., right? Foreign national borrowers also do not need to have U.S.-based credit. So let me go ahead and share the options with you today that I have for our purchase options and our cash out refinance options for our foreign national borrowers. The maximum loan to value for the foreign national borrower loan is 75%. That means 25% down is the minimum down payment. There will also be a reserve requirement, monies that have to be shown in their bank account after closing costs and down payment, anywhere from 6 to 12 months, depending on the program option that is selected. So the first option I'm sharing you here, which is our most popular option, and you will see also that the rates are actually lower on the DSCR option than on the full doc option. But before I break it down further, full doc for a foreign national is very simple. There's no tax returns involved. If the borrower is self-employed, simply a letter from their accountant in their country of origin stating year-to-date income plus income the previous 2 years. If the borrower is not self-employed, right, employed salary or whatever they may be by a company, then it would be an income letter from the employer. Again, no tax returns are required. Now, on the DSCR loans, we are able to put a 5-year prepay if the customer chooses. The longer the prepay, the lower the rate. So the DSCR options I'm showing here have a 5-year prepay versus the full doc options that do not allow more than 3 years on the prepay because you are using the borrower's income to qualify. So here on our 25% down DSCR option for a purchase, you're looking at amazing rates here. 8.75 is almost at par with only a 0.25 of a point in loan discount for the rate. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.75% at a cost of 3.15. That's at the maximum LTV of 75% with 25% down. Taking it little bit more down payment, lower LTV. We're at 70% LTV here, 30% down, and look at the improvement in the rate, right? We're looking at 8.125 at the same quarter point. So the rate dropped 0.5% just because we lowered the LTV by 5%. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.125. That is amazing. And our DSCR cash out refinance, 70% is the maximum LTV for the foreign national cash out refinance. You're looking at 8.875 at a cost of 2.275 points. and you can buy that down all the way to 8.375 at a cost of 3.275 points. Now lowering the LTV from the max of 70 to the more standard 65% for the foreign national cash out refinance. We see again that half a point improvement here. 8.375 is almost at par, costing 0.25 of a point, and you can buy that down all the way to 7.5% at a cost of 3.275 points. And now so you could compare here, put some context to the situation. Now this is our full doc option. Again, 75% LTV is the max. This one is with a 3-year prepay. And our lowest cost option is 9.125. So you do see that does increase over our DSCR option at 75%. And you can buy it down all the way to 8.125 at a cost of 3.5 points for 75% LTV full doc purchase. And dropping the LTV to 70%, then you do see a little bit of an improvement there in the cost. 8.625 is at par. It's beautiful to see par rates for foreign national loans. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.125. Amazing option there for our 70% LTV for national purchase. And my last option here is for our foreign national full doc cash out refinance at a 70% LTV. Again, that is the maximum LTV. And you're looking at 9.25% at par. Again, it's nice to see some par rates on the foreign national loans. And you can buy that down to 8.125 lowest rate option at a cost of 3.5 points. So definitely we have a lot of activity going on with our foreign national loans, foreign national purchases, and foreign national refinances. So please do look to the mortgage calculator for all of your foreign national, non-QM, and agency loan needs.
All right. Thank you, Jose. I think we got a question that came in here from Instagram. The question is it possible to get a loan if I have only 1 year working history?
Yes, but it really depends what type of loan we're talking about. If we're looking at a foreign national loan, which is today's topic, or you're looking at a full doc.
I believe this was before we were talking about foreign national, so I believe they're talking about more of a standard loan program.
Yeah, I mean, we do. Now, the one thing that we would be looking at is what was the borrower doing before they started working, right? Were they in school? Were they living in another country? Are we able to verify any type of employment in that other country, right? Because we have, customarily have been able to finance borrowers here in the U.S. with 1 year work history when we can verify if there hasn't been a gap of an excessive gap. If we can verify in their country of origin some type of full doc employment, or it's just employment in general, we are able to do that. The big issue there is if there is a gap in employment from what we have now to what we are able to verify would be the obstacle.
All right. I don't see any more questions coming in here. So let's see, give it a second here. I think we're good. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up then. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Remember that we do this at 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday where we go through the live rates and then we do a deep dive into a different loan topic every day. And so we will be back here with you tomorrow. So we'll see you all tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, for the next episode.